So many decades, so many characters. Hey everyone, this is Ravenous Blog Animation Bliss, and welcome to another animated top series. So today's top 10 video I'll be doing today is my top 10 Looney Tune characters. So the Looney Tunes franchise is something that I grew up with as a kid, and I always loved watching the Looney Tunes shorts that came out on TV as a kid. And because of that, the Looney Tunes has become one of my all-time favorite franchises, and I always love seeing all of these characters getting involved in lots of wacky hijinks. And because of that, I started loving most of the characters that were involved in this franchise. So of course I had to do a top 10 list featuring my top 10 favorite Looney Tunes characters. So before we get started with this video, here's something I wanted to let you guys know about. This video is going to be based on my personal opinion, so there might be some characters that are not on this list that you guys think should have been on this list, or there might be some characters that you don't agree with. So if there are any other Looney Tune characters that I haven't mentioned on this list that you think should have been on this list, please let me know in the comments down below. And before we get started, here's an honorable mention. So I've been back and forth about whether or not I should add Elmer Fudd to the top 10 list, because even though Elmer Fudd is one of the most normal characters in the franchise, he is still one of Bugs Bunny's greatest foes and probably one of Bugs Bunny's earliest foes. And I do love the fact that Elmer Fudd is one of Bugs Bunny's most recurring foes in the franchise, but yet the reason why he hasn't really made the list is because, again, he's one of the more normal characters of the franchise, so he's not as outlandish in his personality as some of the other characters on this list are. But despite that, I still like Elmer Fudd as a character, and I just had to give him an honorable mention with this one. So Marvin the Martian is an alien invader who tries to invade Earth numerous times throughout the franchise, and he keeps getting foiled by Bugs Bunny or by somebody else. I really love Marvin the Martian's character because he's one of the few alien characters in the cast. Like most of the Looney Tunes cast is made up of human and animal characters, but Marvin the Martian stands out as being one of the few alien characters in the cast, and I just love the fact that he's one of the few threatening characters in the entire franchise, as he's an alien invader who wants to invade Earth, and I think he does a pretty good job of being menacing when he wants to be, but he's also silly at the same time. So I do love Marvin the Martian as being one of the most unique characters in the Looney Tunes franchise. So Foghorn Leghorn is a big rooster who tries to sprout out advice towards anybody who's around to listen to him, but unfortunately his advice tends to go by unnoticed, or whenever he gives out advice it tends to go wrong for everybody involved, and that's pretty much the nature of Foghorn Leghorn's character. I really love Foghorn Leghorn as a character because he's such a bombastic and loud character and how he presents his advice to people, and even though you don't normally see a lot of people present their advices to other people in such a loud way, Foghorn Leghorn was such an interesting character to me because of how loud he is and how he tries to shove his advice in other people's faces, and I just love how his advice tends to blow up in his face because it's either he gives out bad advice towards people or because the person he tries to give his advice to knows a lot more about the situation than he does. So I really love Foghorn Leghorn's character for just being this bombastic character who's able to give out advice that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work. Yosemite Sam is another foe for Bugs Bunny, and he was introduced as being this outlaw who tries to shoot Bugs Bunny numerous times. And I really love Yosemite Sam's character because he's such a hot-tempered character, and when he was first introduced, I love the fact that he was an outlaw whose only goal was to kill Bugs Bunny, and it was very interesting for his character at the time. Of course, he has toned down ever since, but I do love the fact that Yosemite Sam is like one of the most hot-tempered characters in the cast, and it makes his character really stand out from the rest of the cast. Now, I will admit that at first I wasn't going to add Lola Bunny to this list because she wasn't a classic Looney Tunes character. Like, she didn't make her debut into the franchise until 1996's Space Jam. but I eventually started falling in love with Lola Bunny's character, and so I ended up adding her character to the list. I really love Lola Bunny as a character because she's one of the most sanest characters in the entire franchise, even though that kind of varies from whatever show or movie she's in. But at least in the first Space Jam movie, she was the sanest character in the cast, and the fact that she's able to play basketball like a champ was really amazing for her character and very unique to her character, since you never would have expected a sports-centric character to be introduced to the Looney Tunes cast. But yeah, I love Lola Bunny because she's a very sane character, for the most part anyway, and I like the fact that she's a very sports-centric character that was added to the franchise, and she provided a very interesting addition to the franchise. So I put Wile, Coyote, and Roadrunner together in one spot because they're usually in the same shorts together, as you have Wile E. Coyote constantly chasing the Roadrunner throughout the shorts. And I just love the way that Wile E. Coyote tries to use all these Acme products to try to capture the Roadrunner with, but unfortunately these Acme products keep blowing up in Wile E. Coyote's face, and he's not able to capture the Roadrunner because of this. But I do love the dynamic between Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, and how the Roadrunner is always getting away from Wile E. Coyote, because it provides a very interesting predator versus prey type of theme to these shorts and present them in such a hilarious and interesting way. So Porky Pig was one of the first few Looney Tunes characters created for the franchise, and I really love Porky Pig's character because of how much he's able to bring to the franchise, and I really like his interactions with Daffy Duck, who came in afterwards. Like, Porky Pig tends to play the straight man to Daffy Duck's more crazy man, and I just love the dynamic with each other, and I just love the fact that Porky Pig is presented as being more timid compared to the rest of the Looney Tunes cast, and that really makes him stand out from the rest of the Looney Tunes characters. So Tweety and Sylvester are another predator versus prey duo, as Tweety is being presented as this yellow canary bird who's in danger of being eaten by Sylvester the cat. But of course Tweety keeps outsmarting Sylvester the cat in each of his shorts. So Tweety and Sylvester were another duo in the franchise that I had to put together into one slot, as they have a very interesting dynamic with each other, as Tweety Bird is shown as being innocent throughout most of the shorts, despite the fact that he does indirectly cause harm to Sylvester every time Sylvester tries to capture him to eat him. But yeah, I really love Tweety and Sylvester's dynamic with each other, especially when Granny is also in the cast. And you see Granny's dynamic with both Sylvester and Tweety in the shorts, so I definitely love Sylvester and Tweety's dynamic with each other. So the Tasmanian Devil, or Taz for short, is one of the most interesting characters in the franchise because he has this very wild personality compared to the rest of the Looney Tunes cast. And I will admit, it was a bit shocking to realize that Taz did show up in the original Looney Tunes cartoons, but he didn't get much of a role in the original classic cartoons, or at least he didn't show up in that many shorts in the classic series. But I always loved Taz's character because he's like one of the most wildest characters in the entire franchise, and I just love to see how unpredictable he is with his personality. Like, one minute he's very wild and crazy, the next minute he could be calm a bit, and I just love his character so much. So Daffy Duck is like one of the most interesting Looney Tune characters out there because he's one of the few Looney Tune characters in the franchise who has two different personalities. So you have his original personality, where he acts like a goofy guy towards Porky Pig in the earlier shorts, like he's always doing a lot of crazy things in his first appearance, and he always goes woohoo woohoo in his appearances, and he just acts very crazy most of the time. And then you have his other personality, where he acts like this greedy jerk who's always been Bugs Bunny's rival. And I really like those two different personalities of Daffy Duck. Like, you have Daffy Duck acting very goofy whenever he's near Porky in the earlier classics, which really made his character very interesting and funny at the time. And then you have his greedy and mean personality whenever he's with Bugs Bunny, as he provides a very interesting dynamic with Bugs Bunny, as Bugs Bunny is like the ace in their relationship, while Daffy Duck is always second best. And I just really love the relationships that Daffy has with both Porky and with Bugs Bunny, and it really made his character very interesting for me. And then of course number 1 is Bugs Bunny. Of course Bugs Bunny is my all-time favorite character from the franchise. He's probably the most iconic character of the franchise, and he's the main character that people think about when they think about the Looney Tunes franchise. I love Bugs Bunny so much because he's such a charismatic character, and I love the way that he's able to trick his foes whenever his foes try to get the best of him, and Bugs Bunny's able to get the best of his foes. So I really love Bugs Bunny's character because he's like the most charismatic character in the entire cast, and I just love how he's able to put his foes in their place. So that's my top 10 Looney Tune characters list. And after doing this list, I understand why I love the Looney Tunes franchise so much. All of these characters were very interesting in their own way. Like, all of these characters were very unique in their own ways, and I love how hilarious all of these characters were. And they all bring so much excitement and humor to the franchise. And I don't think this franchise would have taken off as it did without all of these characters involved. So I definitely love the Looney Tunes franchise, and I think they have some of the best characters in the franchise. Before I wrap up this video, here are a few words from the channel. All aboard the Animated Social Media Express. Want to send some tweets my way? Then follow me on Twitter. Want to join our special animation community? Then join our Discord group, Animation Bliss. Want to see more updates on our YouTube videos? Then check out our Facebook group, Animation Bliss. Want to download on everything going on with this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, back to the video. So that's my top 10 Looney Tunes list, and tell me in the comments down below, who are your favorite characters in the Looney Tunes franchise? Please let me know in the comments down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later. Hey animation fans, like this video? If you want to see more animated content from this channel, then please hit that big old animated subscribe button so that you can get more awesome content from this channel.